Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Here is where I share lots of pole related content, especially hills, so if you like that sort of stuff, make sure you hit subscribe. And today I am filming the first video in my pole vlog series, my first ever pole studio hire. So I've hired out the studio for 1 hour, so yeah, let's get to it. As I start my warm-up, I'll just give you a little bit of background if you're new. I have been poling at home since December of 2020, and this is like my first time hiring out an actual studio, so it's really exciting to finally be inside of a real studio with a taller pole, nicer floor, more space to move and to film in a nice looking background. Like, obviously when you're at home, you've got to do with, you've got to do the best you have with what you have. But my setup just doesn't obviously look professional. The lighting is crap in my flat. So yeah, really excited to get into an actual studio, because that is where I want to be ultimately teaching. I am currently saving up to take my beginner pole fitness 1 and 2 instructor course. So I thought it'd be a good idea to try and get a little bit of experience in an actual studio. As I said before, I have got literally 1 hour in this studio today, so I made sure that I planned exactly what I wanted to do, what I wanted to focus on, and I decided, as the floor is so slippery compared to mine at home, I am going to be training the splits, finding some different entries to the splits, stuff like that. And I also wanted to take some nice pictures of some poses and just have a little play around really, and get a feel for poling outside of my home pole. And I've really been wanting some more space so I can capture my splits, like my full legs, both legs in the splits, without having to pole off sort of in a diagonal way, because I just have no space at home to film. Like, I put the camera as far back as I can and I'm like nearly right in front of it, so it was really nice to be able to have the camera set up quite far away from me so you can see everything that's going on. You are going to see me just continuously repeat the same moves, because consistency is key, especially with the splits and stretching for the splits. So I'm just really just going over and over again with the splits, which really does help. I find if I take some time off from doing my stretches for the splits, and it takes me a little bit longer to get into them, so I do focus a lot of my time training the splits and the stretches for them. I can't tell you how nice it is to have a slidey floor that does not rip the top of my foot apart from doing the splits over and over again. Another thing that is different to poling at home than poling in this studio is the size of the pole. This one is my one is a 45mm. This pole here is 50mm. I do have a condition called joint hypermobility syndrome, which, as it says, it affects my joints, and I did find that it was a bit more challenging for my knuckles operating a 50mm pole rather than a 45mm pole. I did notice my knuckles were quite sore at the end of the training session. As you can see by my legs bending backwards at the knees, that is one telltale sign of joint hypermobility syndrome. I am going to be making a video on pole injuries and how I treat my pole injuries, how I try to avoid them, the steps that I take, things not to do, because I have had countless, and I'm not even joking, countless injuries on the pole. So I'll definitely be making a video all about that, and also my joint hypermobility syndrome and how I still pole with that issue going on, along with other medical issues that I suffer with. So hopefully I'll be able to help someone with that. Just taking a little pole selfie and just admiring my a lot more toned body that I have now since I've been starting pole dancing. Okay, so I'm going back to splits again. In this video I can do the splits on this side I'm about to do right now. I don't do the splits on the other side as much in this video. I think you saw I couldn't get to the floor, and that is because I had a pole injury and I popped my hamstring doing the splits on the other side, but I have done physio, and I've been really working hard on the physio to get my hamstring healed, which it has now, thank God. So I am now able to do the splits on both sides again. This video I did film a few months ago. If you are wondering how to get the splits, or you're almost there but you're not quite there yet, my best piece of advice is literally consistent stretching. You don't have to do it for very long, but you have to do it consistently every few days. I do it 3 days a week. Oh, quickly, here is where I find out my arms don't slide across the floor. Yes, that was a little bit annoying. Yeah, so make sure you're consistently stretching. Pick your days of the week. Pick however many days a week you want to do. I would suggest at least 2 days a week at the minimum, and stick to those days. Pick a stretching program and just consistently stick to it. You will get there. You will get there, honestly. You just need to be consistent with it. But don't push yourself too much, because that is how I popped my hamstring. I was just pushing myself too far, wasn't listening to my body, and I didn't warm up properly either. I don't think I stretched too much before that time that I popped it. So yeah, it's really, really, really important that you're, stretching properly and not pushing yourself too far, and you will eventually get it. Little and often is really, really good advice for stretching with, stretching for the splits. Don't forget to have fun as you're doing your training, like I am here, just feeling myself a little bit, having a little bit of a twirl to sort of loosen up my hips a bit more. Moving on to a little bit of shoulder mount training. I love doing shoulder mounts. I absolutely love doing shoulder mounts. Shoulder mounts was one of my main moves I've always wanted to get, and it took me a while, but once I broke my shoulder in, basically, because that is exactly what the process was like, I finally got it, and I just love it. It's a great workout for your core as well. Okay, so I've had a little bit of a costume change and I'm just trying to get some shots, and yeah, it is very different. Obviously, where I'm at home, I've been poling at home for like 3 years. I know exactly, where to get onto the pole, where I'm going to land, where the camera is. Yeah, so it was quite difficult to get shots that look good on the camera. But I wanted to get some shots where you could see like my legs pointing out, because I just don't have the space at home. Quite like this is one, but I wasn't sort of like round far enough looking back onto these videos. Yes, that was a little bit annoying. Another main reason I wanted to go to a studio was because I wanted to go up a taller pole and climb to the top and do some moves, higher on the pole. But once I got up there, like, I am actually quite scared of heights, and yeah, I was crapping myself quite a lot, because I have got a good grip on the pole, but every so often I will just slip off. So I was a bit scared that I was going to fall down. So that was literally all I did up that, that portion of the pole. I definitely prefer low flow and further down the pole moves. But I think that's only come from when I fell from a jade split at home. And falling from a jade split, I've got a problem, as I said, with my joints, and I literally landed on my elbow, which jolted my shoulder joint, and yeah, it was really not a nice fall. So ever since I fell from the jade split, I have been a bit scared of falling off of the pole. Okay, now I'm going to be doing some splits in my heels, and yeah, I just love doing the splits. I absolutely love it. I just think they look so impressive. You don't need the pole either to actually do them. So if I'm feeling a little bit sore from continuous pole training days, I will just continuously train my splits, which I think has helped me get them a little bit better. I still can't get them like every single time I try them. Like sometimes my hips will sort of seize up a little bit and stiffen up, and I won't be able to get into them, but then the next day I can get into them perfectly and I can drop into them. So it is a little bit sort of like up and down with my splits, But the more I'm practicing, the more I'm training them, the better that they get. But I'm just being really cautious, like really cautious, since my hamstring is healed, because it has taken me 9 months of physiotherapy to get it back. I just can't get over how slidey this floor is and how smooth and nice it feels to dance on compared to the crappy floor that I have at home. I honestly cannot wait to get a better pole space. I don't know how I'm going to get it. I don't know when I'm going to get it, but I am going to get a nice pole space. Whether that's my own studio, whether I have one built, I don't know, but watch this space, because, yeah, I need my own studio. I can't pole at home forever. If you're like me and you only pole at home and you don't like being around other people, that's why you haven't gone to a studio like a class, consider hiring out the studio for an hour or 2 hours, so you get the whole place to yourself. You can do whatever you like, you can wear whatever you like, you can film, you can bring in music, you know, you can really just feel comfortable and secure knowing you're the only one in the studio. But I really suggest just once to have that experience of poling in an actual studio compared to home, because it is really nice. It really is. I mean, unless you've got really nice pole space at home, then yeah, it doesn't matter. But my pole space at home, you know, it's not ideal and it's not the way that I really would like it. So here, I think I'm trying to get a good picture, but my hand, I moved my hand down a bit. It's still not far down enough though. I couldn't really see it properly from where I was. But yeah, I wanted to get a nice Superman shot, and it was just not, I was just not landing where I wanted to land. But that was it. That was my hour done. It went by way too fast. Way too fast. I had such an amazing time. I cannot wait to come back, and I will bring you along on the next visit. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're following my socials and hit subscribe so you don't miss any future videos coming up. Please like and comment anything that you would like me to film in the future, and I'll definitely work on that. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.